Warn you first with Chief Meteorologist Chase Menendez.
Good evening, everybody. We've got some pretty blue skies going on overhead, but we've also got some thin, high-level clouds happening above us as well. A lot of that cloud activity way up in the top parts of the atmosphere and also pretty sporadic throughout the basin, letting a lot of sunlight in for today, and that's really helped us warm up. We've got a good look outside right now at the Midland skyline, thanks to that sky tracker. And switching over to satellite and radar, you can see those clouds really just coming in from the west, but not very thick. Earlier today, a lot of the panhandle of Texas outlined in some pretty dense cloud cover, but that has since moved out thanks to some westerly winds at the upper parts of the atmosphere. Also starting to see some thunderstorms pick up in parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas. So here in West Texas, we're actually in a pretty calm spot of the country. A lot of sunshine out there earlier today, and still a fair amount of that cloud cover tracking in from west to east, but a lot of space in between those clouds, giving us a lot of that blue sky overhead and a lot of nice sunshine. South of I-10, not much different. You can see a little bit more area covered up by those clouds, but same story. Thin, high-level clouds generally is what we're seeing here in West Texas. And again, a lot of sunshine, a lot of that westerly wind pulling in some warm air, doing a good job of kicking up our high temperatures. We picked up to 89 degrees today. That is pretty well above average, almost summer-like in terms of temperatures. Pretty warm day here in West Texas. Our lows also pretty warm as well, coming in about 6 degrees warmer than normal, 57 compared to that normal of 51. Generally skirting by, steering clear of this 93-degree high temperature record, at least for today, but we could be breaking some high temperature records a little bit later on in the coming forecast. Now, a good reason for that warm up is that sunshine, but also these westerly winds pushing around 12 miles per hour for Odessa Midland, 16 in Wink, and 21 in Guadalupe Pass, according to this model, still indicating some pretty strong winds right now. Now, as we get into the overnight hours, though, those winds do back off, especially for Odessa Midland, backing down to 0 miles per hour. Same story in Seminole, 13 for Guadalupe Pass. As we head into the morning hours, these winds stay calm for the basin, but do pick up through the pass. We'll start to see those gap winds coming back by the time we get to tomorrow morning. We'll see them kind of staying in place, too, at those higher elevations through the Guadalupe Pass, 21 miles per hour by 5 p.m. Meanwhile, the basin begins to pick up a little bit, 11 for Odessa Midland and 16 and Seminole for that same 5 p.m. marking. As we continue to go into our Wednesday morning, notice the basin staying in the low double digits while those gap winds stay in place. So it's going to be pretty windy, and as we head to Wednesday afternoon, those winds really ramp up here across the basin. So do get ready for that. Tomorrow morning, a pretty calm start. 5 to 10 miles per hour is about what we can expect for those winds, but because they're coming in out of the west, that's going to do a good job of pushing a lot of moisture out of the way, pulling in a lot of dry air and a lot of warm air too. Overnight, we'll hold on to some of that heat that we've got here this afternoon. Temperatures backing off into the 50s, but it is going to be very dry. Right now, we're looking at single-digit humidity for Pecos, for Fort Stockton, for Wink, a lot of other places. Anytime we see these numbers getting down into the teens, that indicates humidity dry enough to dry out the brush on the sides of the roads as well as the soil in the ground. Odessa Midland not even making it up to the teens. As we head to the overnight hours, a little moisture will rush in from the east and push back as we head to tomorrow afternoon, and then here come those single-digit humidity values again. So it is going to be a dry week here in West Texas. Use caution. Sparks, flames, cigarette butts, things like that, because we could be looking at some fire weather concerns. We've got a lot of sunshine tomorrow. We've got some warm air and some low humidity, but thankfully our wind speeds are not going to be picking up to red flag criteria. So it is going to get to be pretty dry. Dry enough to dry out that brush, possibly providing some fuel for brush fires later on this week. But as it sits tomorrow, we're not looking at a chance for that fire weather just yet. 91 the high Tuesday, 85 Wednesday, and 87 Thursday. We do have a small chance for some thunderstorms to pick up Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, depending on how you want to look at it. Eddie, it looks like our next chance for thunderstorms is going to come on Sunday afternoon after a very pleasant Saturday, if I do say so.
Yeah, we should enjoy this weather right now because once summer comes,
oh man,
we'll be looking back to these days and saying, those were the good old days.
That's right. I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty hot summer this year, so we'll have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Chase.
Thanks, Eddie.
Well, because